Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, show number 653. Welcome to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, helping you celebrate Celtic culture through music. I am Marc Gunn. I am a Celtic musician and podcaster, and this show is here to build our diverse Celtic community and help the incredible artists who so generously share their music with you. If you hear music you love, please email the artists. Let them know you heard them on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Musicians depend on your generosity to keep making music. So if there's music that you enjoy, find a way to support them this holiday season. There's lots of ways you can do that. You can buy a CD, an album pin, a shirt, digital download. One of the big things that I'm talk about a lot is the Patreon communities. A lot of the bands you hear on this show are on Patreon, and they're just fantastic. So make sure you check those bands out over on Patreon, because buying one item is great, but when you're able to support bands on a monthly basis, that is a great way to do it. Again, there's a link to many bands who are on Patreon in the show notes. You can find a link to all the artists in the show notes along with showtimes when you visit our website at CelticMusicPodcast.com. If you are a Celtic musician or in a Celtic band, then please submit your music to be played on the podcast. You don't have to send an EPK or music in. All you have to do is complete the permission form at forcelts.com. Now, if you want an easier way to do that, you can send an email to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. You'll also get a free ebook called Celtic Musician's Guide to Digital Music. And of course, listeners, you can send an email to that same address and you will learn how to subscribe to the podcast and get free music-only episodes. That's follow@bestcelticmusic.net. We kicked off the show today with Tradify. That was the roaring Barmaid, star of Munster Jig, star of Munster and Fred Finns. It's from their album Take Flight, brand new to the podcast. Sorcha is another new band to the podcast. This is a track from their album Stomp the Floor. It is the title track, Stomp the Floor, Slide from Grace, and The Mouse in the Kitchen. Here's Sorcha.
rose in the Midlands came a man named Danny Williams. He brought magic to King's County and he bottled it right there. He brought a drink for me and a drink for you, the faithful Tullamore Jew. Many barrels he did deliver, flowed as smooth as a silver river, from Killarney down the Shannon and o'er to London town, with a drink for me and a drink for you, the faithful Tullamore Jew. So take me home and brighten up the day, from Tullamore to Boston, out to California. Give every man his due. The Jew was milled and distilled to perfection. It'll go up before the core of the nation, as our legendary Irish whiskey sent across the seven seas, with a drink for me and a drink for you, the faithful Tullamore Jew. So take me home and brighten up the day, from Tullamore to Boston, out to California. Give every man his due. Legacy has grown, and on this day we'll even see her smile at Fenway. Like the phoenix from the ashes, it shines bright across this land. So take me home and brighten up the day, from Tullamore to Boston and across America, with a drink for me and a drink and a drink for you, and a drink for me and a drink for you, and a drink for you. Oh, and a drink for me and a drink for you, the faithful Tullamore Jew. So take me home and brighten up
the sweet Colleen that I met in the county town. As she onward sped, I shook my head and I looked with a feeling rare. And I says I to a passerby who's a maid with a nut brown hair. He smiled at me and he says to me, she's the gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county down.
have a lot of new music on this St. Patrick's Day edition, including Jigjam, who was after Sorcha. That was Tullamore to Boston from their album Phoenix. Then came The Fire with Captain Carswell from Radiance. Hayley Griffiths was after that with Star of the County Down from Far From Here. And then we finish up the set with Keltricity with The Butterfly, Behind the Bush in the Garden, and Swallowtail Jig from their album Live at Terra Firma Radio. I want your feedback. What are you doing today while listening to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast this St. Patrick's Day season? Please email me. I'd love to see a picture of what you're doing while listening or of a band that you saw recently. Whether that's St. Patrick's Day or whatever. Let me know how you are celebrating Celtic culture through music this St. Patrick's Day season. Send an email to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. Yes, that is the same email address where you're going to get some free stuff. So follow@bestcelticmusic.net. Ben Duran messaged on Facebook, when I received the music-only version of the Gaelic Blessing podcast, I was immediately reminded of one of the most moving arrangements of the Irish Blessing that I ever heard by Bill O'Connor and Larry Thies on their traditional and original recording. I am getting ready to have a day off tomorrow and will get to chores and baking for the Wild Hog in the Woods usual Friday night concert that we host at the neighborhood center here in Madison. While I'm mixing and baking, I'll certainly listen to the Gaelic Blessing program in its entirety. Thanks. Ryan S. emailed some photos. Hi, Mark. I love the Celtic Women episodes. I am currently building trails outside of Austin. While I listen to the cast, the spring flowers are ready and out. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ryan. A quick note for folks who are in the Austin area. I started a website years ago when I was living in Austin called AustinCelticCalendar.com. And the goal was to help promote Celtic music and entertainment and stuff that's happening in the Austin area. Unfortunately, I no longer live there, and it looks like some folks aren't actually updating it right now. So if you would like to help do that, whether it's you, Ryan, or someone else who lives in the Austin area, and if you're staying on top of music and events that are happening for Celtic culture, drop me an email, follow@bestcelticmusic.net, and let's talk, because I would love to have you update the calendar if you're so willing. It's a great way to support Celtic culture through music. Shell O'Toole emailed a photo. Hi, Mark. I am listening today. I'm promoting the International Women's Day event I organize for the Ballarat and District Irish Association. The all-women trio I play with, Skedaddle, is performing on the day. I am also looking at ways to promote my newly released poetry book, Wild Song. I'll be officially launching it at the IWD lunch. I'm loving the Celtic Women special. There's so many fabulous Irish women singers and musicians. Nor Ryan, the Shona singer and chanter Sandra Joyce Singer and Balran player are two amazing teachers I met at the Irish World Music Summer School Blas many years ago. Neve Parsons and Dolores Keane are firm favorites, and I love discovering new female artists. I'm probably going to a session on St. Patrick's Day, and there's a band playing at one of the Irish pubs in the evening I want to see. Sláinte. Thank you so much for sharing and sharing your picture of your book. Congratulations on the new poetry book. I love seeing artists of all sorts creating new things. So if that's you out there, just like Shell, send something in. Let me see what you're creating, especially if you're doing it while listening to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Again, send an email to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. Let's get back to the show. So, speaking of creating new things, I just released a brand new album. It is called Come Adventure With Me. All the music that I create, I try to infuse a Celtic feeling to it. However, I do write a lot of original songs. So this album features a lot of those original songs that I've written over the past couple years, and I'm very proud of it. It also features some tracks that I found or that I enjoy a lot. This track I'm going to play with you right now is a track called Myra's Lament for Lamlish Bay. Now, if you're a fan of the podcast and you've been listening to it for a while, then you might recognize show number 85. Back when I shared a live recording of Liam Griffin when I was in Oban, Scotland on one of my Celtic Invasion vacations. Liam invited me to record the song, and I eventually did do just that. And I'm really excited to share my version of Liam's song. Here is Myra's Lament for Lamlish Bay. It's from my album Come Adventure With Me. There are scallops in the sea, but they're for you and me. But the Lord who reigns from heaven above, and the divers catch and sell. Oh, we won't go to hell. We treat the sea with joy, respect, and love. There's a wild and rolling sea, bringing me back home to ye, to your bed that's dry and crisp and woman warm. And our lovin' knows no harm when I hold you in my arms, when the boys from Lerig's Glen come rolling home. There are rocks upon the shore, there are skerries even more, and the trawlers they are dredging to and fro. And the divers in the gully, for the seabed we don't sully, and picking is the way I choose to go. There's a wild and rolling sea, bringing me back home to ye, to your bed that's dry and crisp and woman warm. And our lovin' knows no harm when I hold you in my arms, when the boys from Lerig's Glen come rolling home. But today the sea is calm, and the boat is full of clams, and swiftly we have cleared Kilbrennan Sound. Sacks of scallops stacked up high, all our divers safe and dry, and soon for Lerig's Glen we're homeward bound. There's a wild and rolling sea, bringing me back home to ye, to your bed that's dry and crisp and woman warm. And our lovin' knows no harm when I hold you in my arms, when the boys from Lerig's Glen come rolling home. Now a new day's dawn, and time is moving on. Conservation is a game that they all play, and my work they cannot throw, and I'm told to sign the dole. No more from Lerig's Glen go to the sea. There's a wild and rolling sea, bringing me back home to ye, to your bed that's dry and crisp and woman warm. And our lovin' knows no harm when I hold you in my arms, when the boys from Lerig's Glen come rolling home. There's a wild and rolling sea, bringing me back home to ye, to your bed that's dry and crisp and woman warm. And our lovin' knows no harm when I hold you in my arms, when the boys from Lerig's Glen come rolling home. When the boys from Lerig's Glen come rolling home.
am a young fellow that's very well known. I travel through Galway in the county Tyrone. For work I'm been searching through Cork and Kildare. There never was a job for the rambler from Clare. Through Kerry I searched with no brogues to me feet. Stranded in Sligo with nothing to eat. Till in desperation I borrowed the fare. And goodbye to old Ireland, said the rambler from Clare. On the boat leaving Ireland I stood at the bar. And a big red-faced agent he stood me ajar. Says he, up in Scotland they're building dams there. And there's plenty of work for a rambler from Clare. So I made for Argyll where I dug a big hole. It was half a mile deep and I felt like a mole. It held 10 million gallons of water, I swear, and the most of it sweat from the rambler from Clare. Oh, the next job I worked on was digging a drain. I moved up the trench like a big diesel train. They laid off the rest of the gang then and there. For the equal of 10 was the rambler from Clare. One day they were moving a bridge into place, and 1,000-ton crane it fell flat on its face. Like Ajax that bridge on my shoulders I bear. There's no crane in the world like the rambler from Clare. Oh, they tell you my equal has never been seen. They call me the horse and the digging machine. The ganger men love me and the agents would stare, all admiring the strength of the rambler from Clare. But now I am bent and my fire has turned cold. Another 4 years I'll be 50 years old. I'm worn out and finished, but what do they care? Oh, they got what they wanted from the rambler from Clare. I'm worn out and finished, but what do they care? Oh, they got what they wanted from the rambler from Clare.
Farewell to old Ireland, the land of my childhood, that now and forever I'm bound for to leave. Farewell to the fields where the shamrock is growing. It's the bright spot of beauty and the home of the brave. I'll think on her valleys with fond admiration, though never again the green hills will I see. For I'm bound to cross over the wild swelling ocean in search of fame, fortune and sweet liberty. It's hard to be forced from the lands that you live in. Our houses and farms we're obliged for to sell, and to wander alone among Indians and strangers, to find some sweet spot where our children can dwell. I have a wee lassie I fain would take with me. Her dwelling at present lies in County Down. It would break me poor heart for to leave her behind me. We'll both roam together this wild world around. So come along, Cathy, me find our pet lassie. Bid farewell to your mother, then come along with me. I'll do my endeavour to keep your mind cheery till we reach the green fields of America. Our ship at the present lies in Derry Harbour to bear us away o'er the wild swelling sea. May heaven be her pilot and grant us fair breezes till we reach the green fields of America. Our farmers, our artists, and tradesmen are going to seek for employment far over the sea, where they'll get their riches with care and industry. Oh, there's nothing but hardship at home if you stay. So cheer up your spirits, you lads and gay lasses. There's gold for the winning and lots of it too. Success to the hearts that have courage to venture. Bad luck to the lad or the lass that would rue. Fish brandy in Quebec at 10 cents a quart, boys. The ale in New Brunswick's a penny a glass. There's wine in that sweet town they call Montreal, boys. At inn after inn we will drink as we pass. We'll call for a bumper of ale, wine and brandy. We'll drink to the health of those far, far away. And our hearts will all warm at the thoughts of old Ireland when we're on the green fields of America. Farewell to old Ireland, the land of my childhood, that now and forever I'm bound for to leave. Farewell to the shore where the shamrock is growing. It's the bright spot of beauty and the home of the brave.
After Marc Gunn came Tarren with Hardwood, another brand new band I found on the Folk on Foot podcast. They had a great song that I'm looking forward to. I think they're releasing in the fall, but I can't wait to get my hands on that and sharing it with you. But that was Hardwood is a fantastic track. It's from their album Revel. Then came Celtic Wooden Wires with I'll Tell Me Ma from Close the Back Door. Altan was after that with The Yellow Tinker, a slow reel, and that's from their brand new album Donegal. Then Then came The Rambler from Clare by Michael Darcy and the Atlantic Tramps from Down to the Roots. Quo Beret was after that by Louise Bichan from Out of My Own Light. And we finished up the set with Toby Bresnahan with Farewell to Old Ireland from his album All in Good Time. Hey, if you enjoy this podcast and you enjoy my music especially, then you might want to join me on a Celtic Invasion vacation. Every year I take a small group of Celtic music fans on the relaxing adventure of a lifetime. We don't see everything. Instead, we stay in one area. We get to know the region through its culture, history, and legends. You can join us with an auditory and visual adventure through a podcast and through videos, all at CelticInvasion.com. However, I do have a bonus. This summer we are going to the Isle of Man, but I decided to set up a second little adventure that's going to happen in September. It is a whiskey tour of Scotland, and it's quite a bit different because we're going to be drinking whiskey and then seeing the sights and then drinking whiskey and seeing the sights. So if you want to join me on this trip, make sure you head on over to CelticInvasion.com, sign up to the mailing list, drop me an email as soon as possible because I'm only looking at making 6 slots available for this invasion. At present, it could change, but that's my current plan. So if you want to be a part of this invasion, you need to drop me an email as soon as possible. You can send an email to CelticInvasion@gmail.com if you want to do that. Or again, sign up to the mailing list at CelticInvasion.com. The Walker Roaders are another new band to the podcast. This is Old Tar Road to Sligo. It's from their self-titled album.
Day after day, up on the hill, is that your voice I hear there singing in the wires? Is that your shadow down by the mill when the winter sun sets all the trees on fire? And did you hear the curlew cry? Always the same monotonous refrain. And did the larks rise into the sky the day you disappeared to find your lost domain? Take me please wherever you go, down the old tar road to Sligo. Don't you know wherever you go, I go too. You called me round to help you pack, but then you left with just a match to light your fag. I looked up and you were gone. Where did you go to now, my blue-eyed one? Take me please wherever you go, ahora llévame contigo. In the front seat of your Winnebago, with me at in Arcadia Ego. We never walked along the Seine, nor did we ride across the fields of Aquitaine. I'm gonna bin this Madeleine, because I know we'll never pass this way again. Take me please wherever you go, down the old tar road to Sligo. In the front seat of your Winnebago, seat of your Winnebago. Don't you know wherever you go, I go too.
need you to put your hands together right here. Actually, this is how we do it. Clap.
This is how we do it.
We're gonna set it right here. It's a classic right there, folks. I mean the clap. The joke sucks, but the clap is a classic. Yeah. A little faster. Here we go. Here we go. Downstairs ran his lady, one sing high and the other sing low, and the other sing about it whiskey. It was upstairs, downstairs the lady went, put on a suit of leather. You could hear her cries from around the door, and away with every ticket to studio. It was late last night when the boat came in. Heard Barbara's lady, the voice of every servant said, she's away with that wrinkle tickle gypsy. My milk white steed, go and fetch my pony, let me ride and seek my bride. She's away with the red-tailed gypsy. Well, he rode east and he rode west, he rode north and south, until he came to a wide field. He was there to find his lady. What made you leave your house and your land? What made you leave your money? What made you leave your only when it all to be off with a red-tailed gypsy? I'm off with the red-tailed gypsy. It was late this day with a goose for the bed. She turned out so bravely, tonight you lie in a wide field alone with that red-tailed gypsy. What do you care for a house and a land? What do I care for my money? What do I care for my only wedded lord? Off with the red-tailed gypsy.
Come, let's dance together where two lights embrace. These sleepy dream-like moments are when I'm most awake. We'll hide within these shadows and mind their mysteries. And with head and eyes, see gentle light go woven through these trees. Shelter made of tin once stood on a hill by raging seas. She still stands with stone walls, a lighthouse she is free. Wildflowers line this winding path that leads us to explore. Wonder where every step will tides turn on this shore. Daughter, you're my son. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. Sisters, you're my brothers. Come, let's dance. Oh, there's one.
we take our winter's rest like candles through the night. We gather at this threshold, drink cider, sing our faith. Take the hand of Lady Wisdom, she'll be dancing. Come, let's dance, oh, let's
With her, this world is a better place. Until I'm home again, I'll keep counting down the days when I'm back on green Irish soil. Tell her I'm on my way. Until I'm home again, I'll keep counting down
After the Walker Roaders came Lúnasa with the Bulls March from Live in Kyoto. Then Raggle Taggle Gypsy by the Stout Pounders from their new album, Liver Let Die. Then Brother C with All As One from the Brother C EP. And we finish up the set with Clare Cunningham. She has a new single out. It is called Home Again. Thank you so much, patrons of the podcast. Because of your generosity, we get shows each and every week. Your kindness pays for our engineer, graphic designer, Celtic Music Magazine editor, promotion of the podcast. It allows me to buy the music that I play on this show. It also pays for my time creating the show each and every week. As a patron, you get music-only episodes before regular listeners. You get to vote in the Celtic Top 20. You get standalone episodes. You get a private feed to listen to the show. All that for as little as $1 per episode. You also can enjoy the first highlight reel of the year. This features some of the best tracks as voted on you of this year for the first 7 episodes of the year. So please support the podcast. Sign up today. Again, if you are new to the Patreon experience, there are a whole bunch of amazing Celtic bands on Patreon. So I recommend that you check out those bands as well. Here are some of our new and continuing patrons of the podcast. Big thanks to O McPub Band, Steve Bradley, Windswept Isles, Robert Crater, Jose Tomas Castro Caparini, John Shechnadre, and Frank. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast each and every week. I really, really appreciate your kindness. You can become a generous patron of the podcast on Patreon at songhenge.com. We are not done yet. We got more music coming up. John O'Reilly by River Driver. This is from their brand new album, Flanagan's Shenanigans, live at the Celt.
Y'all ready? Well, my name is John O'Reilly, and my father worked the fields in the hills of Old Killarney, where I helped him turn the wheels. My arms grew hard as iron for a boy of 17, and I used my fist for gambling in those wet Killarney streets. But a ship left for America, and I took my pack aboard, said goodbye to my dear Ireland, said a prayer to my dear Lord. Fought those sorry guineas in the kitchen they call hell. Fought them for their dollar, and those guineas paid me well. Fare thee well, fared over, fare thee well, my season's turn. My pockets will be jingling on the day of my return. Day of my return. Jersey Shore, my guts stayed full of whiskey and my bed stayed full of girls. Called my right a cannonball, my left they called the same, and I left them all a lying half in blood and half in shame. But I met a man on 32 and he stuck out his hand. He offered me 1,000 if I'd fall before his man. Said it could be done but only for another 2. He smiled at me and nodded as I stuck it in my shoe. Will be jingling on the day of my return. Day of my return. They ring the bell 2 times before I let him have my nose. I let him work my left until my eye was swollen closed. I let loose the right that they still talk about today. For that guinea didn't know that I had been the other way. They colored every dock and every port there on the coast, looking for that double crosser who I turned into a ghost. I was on a train, my friend, that rolled the other way, and I'll sail from California back to Dublin one fine day. Fare thee well, fared over, fare thee well, my season's turn. My pockets will be jingling on the day of my return. Day of my return. Fare thee well, fared over, fare thee well, my season's turn. My pockets will be jingling on the day of my return.
And every single night when my dad will come on site, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus. Come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you want medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Chandra.
Come tell us how you slew those old Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus, they had spears and bows and arrows. How bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them for natives to the marrow.
Oh, come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you want medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Chandra. Them days are here when it's English yeomen here will run before us. And if there be a need, then our kids will say Godspeed with a verse or two of singing this fine chorus. Oh, come out, you black and tans, come on and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you want medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Chandra. Oh, come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you want medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Chandra. From the green and lovely lanes of Chandra. From the green and lovely lanes of Chandra.
Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay, Petit Syrah or Cabernet, Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay, Petit Syrah or Cabernet, Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay, Petit Syrah or Cabernet, Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay, Petit Syrah or Cabernet.
He said his name was Seamus from the Emerald Isle. If he could find a Guinness, he might stay and chat a while. He came to visit wineries, he really loves his beer. He really missed his daily pint, wished he could find one here. I said, you've got the Grail, you've got Cunningham, and other places too. For a good man like an Irishman, to get a glass of wine or two. A good Guinness for in Livermore may be hard to find round here. There's lots of places where you can find a frosty pint of beer. I told him not to worry if you're just passing through. Winery or brewery, you'll find a perfect drink for you. In olden times they brought the vines and hops to make the brew. There's all kinds of booze for you to choose, and gin and whiskey too. You've got McGrail, you've got Cunningham, and other places too. For a good man like an Irishman, to get a glass of wine or two. A good Guinness pour in Livermore may be hard to find round here. There's lots of places where you can find a frosty pint of beer. Good men like an Irishman, you get a glass of wine or two. A good Guinness pour in Livermore may be hard to find round here. There's lots of places where you can find a frosty pint of beer. He'd been to many wineries, must have been 5 or more. He left for a beer in such good cheer as he headed out the door. He waved goodbye and shouted how happy he would be if they had such drink in Ireland as they do in wine country. You've got McGrail, you've got Cunningham, and other places too. For a good man like an Irishman, you get a glass of wine or two. A good Guinness pour in Livermore may be hard to find round here. There's lots of places where you can find a frosty pint of beer.
Wine is fine, not the only way. Frosty pint can be okay. Wine is fine, not the only way. Frosty pint can be okay. Wine is fine, not the only way. Frosty pint can be okay.
She likes the Guinness!
Bless her heart!
Found herself alone one night with drink in hand, an ice cold pint, with teary eyes and broken heart. Best dress on and looking smart, gents around all gave a start.
She likes the Guinness!
Bless her heart!
American lass with eyes so bright, please won't you come and dance with me tonight? They kept her glass filled to the brim until the lights outside were grown dim. They offered her romance, but did they know they didn't stand a chance with her poor broken heart?
She likes the Guinness!
Bless her heart!
American lass with eyes so bright, please won't you come and dance with me tonight? She said, I don't mind you asking, and I like what you all think I wanna dance. See, my heart today was broken, I'm not looking for romance. Can see your hope in there, is something you can do for me instead. This glass right here is empty, won't you fill it up again? Won't you fill it up again? The band struck up a light
lively tune. The guitar man had eyes for only one inside the crowded room. She smiled back, he somehow knew that this was love right from the start.
She likes the Guinness.
American lass with eyes so bright, please won't you come dance with me tonight? The music died down for the night. The bar was empty save for the American lass with eyes so bright. He knew right then and there that he'd give anything to have her hand, if only he could make her understand. So he said, please don't mind me asking, I hope that you might just give me a chance. I can tell your heart's been broken, you aren't looking for romance. Can see you're hoping there is something I can do for you instead. I can see your glass is empty, can I fill it up again? Let me fill it up again. Let me fill it up again. She said, I don't mind you asking, and I like that you don't think I want to dance. See, I'm tired of feeling broken, might be ready for romance. Can see you're hoping there is something you can do for me instead. Well, this heart of mine is empty, won't you fill it up again? See, this heart of mine is empty, won't you fill it up again? Won't you fill it up again?
She likes the Guinness.
After River Driver came Philippe Barnes and Tom Phelan with New King's Road, Orlaiths, and New Found Out from their album The Clearwater Sessions. Then Jimmy and Scott's folk band with Come Out Ye Black and Tans from the Viking Irishman. The Clay Babies were after that with Out on the Ocean, Flowers of Edinburgh, and Mason's Apron from Speechless Volume 1, Sloppy Session in the Sticks. Then came CaliCeltic with Frosty Pint from Whiskey Mustache. And we finished up the set with She Likes the Guinness by the band Ironwood from Greta Green. So happy to have them on the podcast. I think they submitted it a long time ago, and for whatever reason, I was not able to get them on the show. So happy to finally have them on the podcast. I also want to remind you to vote in the Celtic Top 20 for 2024. This is our way of finding the best songs and artists each year. You can vote for as many songs and tunes that inspire you in each episode. Your vote helps me create next year's Best Celtic Music of 2024 episode. You have just 3 weeks to vote this year. You can also follow our playlist on Spotify to listen to those top voted tracks as they are added every 2 to 3 weeks. It also makes it a little easier to add these artists to your own playlist. Finally, you can also check out some Irish and Celtic music videos that I slowly compile from some of the bands and tracks on the show. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful, safe St. Patrick's Day. I'm really looking forward to my own St. Patrick's Day celebrations. You can find mine at markgunn.com if you want to check it out. I'm playing locally in the Atlanta, Georgia area, so hope to see you out there. In any case, I am going to have a new show next week with a lot of new bands as well, because I got a lot of new submissions coming in for St. Patrick's Day. But we're going to finish up the set with Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones. This is Spanish Lady from their album, Let the Free Birds Fly. Thank you so much for listening. Talk to you again next week. Sláinte.
As I rode out to Dublin City at the hour of 12 of the night, we should have seen but the Spanish lady washing her feet by candlelight. First she washed them, then she dried them over a fire of amber coals. In all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet about the souls. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. He stopped to look, but the watchman saw me and he said, young fella, the night is late. Along with you home, or I'll wrestle you straight way through the bridewell gate. I blew a kiss to the Spanish lady, hot as the fire of amber coals. In all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet about the souls. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. Now she's no mutt for a pebble squaddy with her ivory comb and her mantle fine. She make a wife for the provost marshal, drunk on brandy or claret wine. I got a look from the Spanish lady, hot as the fire of amber coals. And all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet about the souls. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. As I went out to Dublin city, as the hour of dawn was o'er, which should I see but the Spanish lady? I was weary and footsore. First she coaxed me, then she chid me, and she laughed at my sad plight. And all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet as on that night. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. Back for the tooraloora laddie, back for the tooraloora lay. Butter and Patrick's Close, up and around by the Gloucester Diamond, and home by Napper Tandy's house. Old age has laid her hand on me, cold as a fire of a she-coal. But where is the lovely Spanish lady, neat and sweet about the soul? Whack for the tooraloora laddie, whack for the tooraloora lay. Whack for the tooraloora laddie, whack for the tooraloora laddie, whack for the tooraloora laddie, whack for the tooral, whack for the tooral, whack for the tooraloora laddie.
The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast is produced by Marc Gunn, the Celt Father, and our patrons on Patreon. The show is edited by Mitchell Peterson with graphics by Miranda Nelson Designs. Visit our website to follow the show. You'll find a link to all the artists played in this episode. Todd Wiley is the editor of the Celtic Music Magazine. Subscribe to get 34 Celtic MP3s for free. Plus, you'll get 7 weekly news items about what's happening with Celtic music and culture online. Best of all, you will connect with your Celtic heritage. Please tell one friend about this podcast. Word of mouth is the absolute best way to support any creative endeavor. Finally, remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, and think about how you can make a positive impact on climate change. Promote Celtic culture through music at CelticMusicPodcast.com.